Hello, my name is Sean Didyoung. A few of you will know me from the Engravers Cafe. I've had a few people request that I talk a little bit about how I develop a scroll and its elements that go with it. So I've drawn a little picture here, and I'll try my best to talk you through it and explain what it is that in my mind helps build a successful scroll pattern. To start off with, in any of the scroll patterns or even a simple flower pattern, you have three tools that you can use that build that scroll pattern. These are the three tools. First one is your curve line, second is your arch line, and the third would be an S-cut line. Any of these three, when combined with each other, that makes up your scroll pattern. As far as I know, you don't have any other lines that you wouldn't have any other tools that would help you build that scroll pattern. A curve cut, which is a very large version of what's referred to as your backbone. I don't know if you can tell the backbone is drawn in green. The backbone is what makes up your scroll. Again, that's your curve. And an arch, one of the arch lines that you see here, this could be considered an arch. This line right here is an arch that builds part of your finial. Your S-cut, there are multiple spots in here to where you use an S-cut. Here's one, here's another one, here's one here, and another one here, and actually another S-cut here. When you start developing a scroll, you're always going to start off with your point of origin. When we do just the backbone itself, starting from this point here all the way around, that's where we come up with our scroll backbone. The main thing that I see that a lot of people make mistakes on is they do not have a nice round backbone on your scroll. If your scroll is not round and consistent in nature, regardless of how well you draw your other elements, it's just simply not going to be appealing to the viewer's eye. Now, what I mean by a nice round backbone is that if you look between my two fingers here at this portion of the scroll backbone, the highest point of that arc or curve area is right here. It is a consistently round, not a perfectly round, but it shares a consistency with the spacing in between here and here, here and here, here and here, and so forth. You don't want any elbows or flat spots in your scrolls. In return, when you have a nice round scroll backbone, you have a higher chance of success when it comes to your shading, to your fine line shading, or just simply building the elements for your leaves. Again, with these three basic lines that you have, your curve, arch, or your S-cut, those three lines when put in conjunction with each other correctly, you can build any shape of leaf that you want. To start off with our first leaf here, this leaf has, I'm pretty sure, all of these 3 cuts in it. It's just what gives it a successful look, or an appealing look, is how each line is placed with its partner line. The one thing that I like to try and tell people is, say on this line here and this line here, they share a marriage with each other. They run parallel with each other. They share the same trajectory with each other. Same goes for this curved line here and this curved line here. They share the same trajectory or flow of the curve. It's all the same. If you were to follow this line out, it would still run parallel with this line here. This line and this line, they run parallel with each other. If you were to follow this one all the way down to its point of origin, it would run parallel with this partner line here. Another way to look at it, it just continues to build on each other. This line here and this line here, they run parallel with each other. If you were to imagine this line going all the way down to its point of origin, it would share the same trajectory or curve as this line here. So this one would run here, and it shares the same arch or curve as this line here. Same deal goes for the finial. This right here or this right here is what you would refer to as a finial. This line and this line here, they share the same arc or curved structure with each other. This line here and this line here, they share the same curvature with each other. Once you're successful at developing your eye to where it recognizes that things are running parallel with each other, that your hard lines, your curve, your arc, or your S, that they share a good marriage with each other. Once your eye is able to recognize that, the shading becomes extremely simple. Another element here, this hard line here shares the same curvature or arc of the backbone. It may start off, well, it does actually start off at your point of origin, and it progressively gets wider, but it shares the same arc or curvature of its parent line. Each of these leaf elements, they have a, I don't know what the best way to explain it is, but they have there's partnerships in these leaf elements. This line here and this line here, they're partners. They have to work together in order for this leaf element to be successful. This line here, as well as this line here, it has to have a good partnership with each other for it to be a successful leaf element. As an example of what would not work, say if this arc were to come out and end in that type of a trajectory, well, when your eye naturally follows the flow of this line, if if you were to continue with that, it's going to end up way out here in space. So that's why I say they must share a good partnership with each other. This one here and this one here, it's a partnership between the two lines. They have to share the exact same curvature. I know a lot of this stuff, it seems like I just keep repeating myself and repeating myself, but those are truly the mistakes that people make. Their eye doesn't pick up on what is correct or incorrect. There's lots of, a guy could just go on for hours and hours and hours just simply pointing out what lines should be, should follow its parent line, how they must work together in order to do that. And that's truly what makes or breaks a good scroll element, is if your lines, your hard lines, or your basic forms or outside shapes of the leaves, if they're working well with each other, then you have no other place to go but reaching a successful scroll pattern. Again, just going back all through this, there's no other oddball lines or cuts that you would make that you could add in here that do not consist of these three basic cuts: your curve, your arch, or your S cut. Just to go over it one more time, it is very, very simple if you just constantly remind yourself that you only have three basic tools to deal with. Once you master those tools and remember that they have to share a good partnership with each other, once your eye starts to recognize that, you will see a great ability to draw successful